Well, hello. I'm John Williams, and this is History for Homeschoolers. You know, last time we spoke, we talked about the interactive notebook. And we talked about how we set that up with an input page and an output page and exactly what goes on there. Today what I would like to do is I would like to talk about setting up the book and what kind of books that you would use for your interactive notebook. It really is a pretty simple process. The first thing that you need is one of two types of notebooks. Now the first type that you can use is a simple spiral notebook. They make these in 1 subject and I think 3 subject and 5 subject type notebooks, and it doesn't matter which one you choose to use. But I would suggest to you that you make sure that the notebook that you use is specifically set aside for your history notes, and that will be very, very important. The other type of notebook that you can use is a 1-inch 3-ring binder like this one. And again, what you'll want to make sure that you do is that you set this binder up specifically for your notes for history for your classes. The next thing that you want to do in either this or the spiral notebook is you want to set up the very first page. It is basically a coloring page. On this page, this introduction page, you have your name and my name and then the type of history that the notes are included in. So if it was a Texas history course, then you would make it look like Texas history. If it was a world history course, say ancient peoples or classical world or whatever it happens to be, then you would set this page up for those particular notes. That's exactly what you do. Now the next thing that you do is you turn the page over, and then your very next page over here becomes your table of contents. And that's all you have to really write up here at the very top is table of contents. And then down here at the bottom, in either lower left or right hand side, it's up to you, you start numbering pages. This would be page 1, and then your next page over, this would be page 2 and 3 and so forth until you had 10 pages set aside for table of contents. Now the table of contents is a very important part of our setup, because what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to be able to find the notes that you need for studying, and that's a very important part. And so this table of contents basically works like the table of contents in any book, and so that's basically what we're going to do here. So as you come to a new subject in your notes, you will write it here and then the page that it begins on, and then you'll be able just simply to go to those notes. And of course your first page of notes will begin on page 11. So no matter where you start, your first set of notes are on page 11, and that will be on the input side of your notes. Then as you have different subjects, you simply write them down first, and then you put the page that they begin. Now you may have more than one subject that goes along with one page. On the other hand, you may have several pages that deal with one subject. It's all perfectly okay, and that's the uniqueness of the table of contents, is that it will allow you then to be able to find your notes. Now what some people do is they do these in different colors, but ultimately this is how we set up this is how we make our setup. So whether you use a 1-inch 3-ring binder, or you use a 1 subject or 5 subject spiral notebook, go ahead and get your notes set up so that you'll be able to take notes when we get started. We'll see you soon.